Hey, good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls. I'm your host, and I know I say this like every time I say, man, I'm excited about today's guest. Today's guest, I'm telling you, man, I am freaking excited about this guy. This is incredible. So, you guys you're about to learn some things that you may have heard before, but you probably haven't heard it in the context you're getting ready to hear. So without any further from me, I want to welcome Mr. Jim Ziegler to the show. Jim, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me, Ken. This is exciting. I am ready to do it.
You and I caught up here for a few minutes before we got the show started, and man, I can just tell you're filled with wisdom. And this show, I created this show to help entrepreneurs, people have a breakthrough in life, because I think that I'll be 50 years old. I've owned a business most of my adult life, and we get stuck. We get stuck, and normally it's up there in the head, but we get stuck and we don't know how to move forward. And I think that you have enough wisdom to help a lot of people get unstuck, man.
Don't worry about being 50 years old. I got underwear older than you.
Hey, I've said that to some 20-year-olds. I love it, man. No, you know what? I'm excited about turning 50 because I feel like this, people might start taking me serious now.
Well, you probably got all excited about joining AARP.
That's right. So
get that extra donut at Best Western.
That's right. So I want to start this with, I got to ask you a question, man.
I've been dreading this because you told me you've been colluding with some friend of mine. You won't tell me who it was.
Okay, so I don't know the exact year, but there was a story that I heard about you used to have, and I'm looking over here at my notes, that you used to have a buy here, pay here Lincoln Continental, and there's some story about you driving down the road with a mattress tied to the roof at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That is an absolutely true story. I was making weekly payments. My credit was ruined. I was 35 years old, starting over again. Cycle.
Yeah.
So I packed my every earthly possession into this 1973 Lincoln Continental. Now, this was 1982.
Oh my God.
So I had a 9-year-old paid $1,500. That was a great car, by the way. It wasn't a junker by any means, but it was 22 feet long. You couldn't see the hood ornament in the fog. Big ass car.
Yeah.
I'm driving up I-75 headed for Atlanta. I'm starting over again. I'm broke, divorced, depressed, pissed off. I'm wearing a white T-shirt. I spilled coffee all over myself.
Oh, Lord.
I smoked cigarettes in those days. I was relighting the longest ones out of the ashtray.
Oh, my God.
And in 5 years, I was a millionaire.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
no kidding.
That's the other part of that story.
Wow.
Now, who told you about that?
Frank Lopes.
Oh, Frank Lopes. He's a great guy. Frank is a great guy. I love Frank Lopes.
I talked to Frank for about almost 2 hours yesterday on the phone. Such a great friend of mine. Good dude. And he just loves the heck out of you, man. He's like, that you're going to learn a lot from Jim Ziegler. You were so you were 35 years old. You tied a mattress to the roof of your Lincoln Continental.
Mm-hmm.
You headed to Atlanta. Broke as hell. Couldn't finance a bologna sandwich.
I had $400 to my name that I borrowed from Mom on the way out of town.
Wow. And you said, Mom, I'm going to go get rich.
I checked into a Ramada Inn that was $85 a night. It better happen quick.
Oh, my Oh, my Lord, have mercy. In Atlanta, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Now, I knew I was a car salesman. It wasn't like I was total crapshoot. I could get a job anywhere. And I had been a record-setting car salesman before the divorce and all that inspired the depression, so, I was feeling sorry for myself. It was one of those, you understand.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so I got a job as a car salesman. I was in an apartment very quickly. I've never been beaten as a salesman. I'm not the world record holder, but nobody ever beat me on the sales force that I was on.
Wow. Wow, man. But tell me, so you were depressed, you were divorced, you come to a whole new city. Had you been in Atlanta before, living there?
Never.
I used to live in Atlanta too, and that's a big, big old town.
Well, there was one statistic that drove me to Atlanta.
What was that?
Women. Atlanta is a service-based economy.
Right.
And it had big secretarial and support staff. Women are 7-1 in Atlanta. Did I mention I was 35 years old, divorced?
You're I know a quick way to get over this depression. So
that move was testosterone driven.
Wow. So what'd you do? Did you start selling cars? What'd you do?
I started selling cars, McNamara Pontiac, and I had known Dennis McNamara previously.
Okay.
And he had come to Atlanta, which sort of helped me out. And like I say, I was in an apartment very quickly.
Wow.
And I sold my wife a car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, I had moved to Banner Ford, and my wife came in, and she was all over me like a pork chop, a dog with a pork chop. Yeah, no, that's not true. She sees this broadcast, she'd kill me.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
She was not all over me like a dog with a pork chop. That's a lie. No. But I dated her for 2 years before we got married.
Wow.
And she was so good for me. You see, I have the ability to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You parachute me naked anywhere in the world. Don't speak the language. Doesn't matter. I'll be rich by the end of the month. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
I'm an entrepreneur. You understand the word entrepreneur?
I think I do, but I want to hear your take on it.
In the word in the French language, the entree is the opening, the door.
Ah.
And prendre means to take.
Got it.
So the opening, the door, the opportunity. Entrepreneur is the opportunity taker.
Love that, man. Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's really cool, man. So, I saw you on Lisa Copeland's show, and
she's pissed at you about that too.
She what?
Yeah, she's pissed at you about that too. She said you steal all her guests.
She did not say that. Oh Lord, have mercy. She would never. I don't think she'd get that. She loves. She's a great person. But you said something on her show, and I want to bring it up because it's stuck with me since then, and I don't think it's ever going to leave. You told me, or you told her on the show, and I forget what year. It seems like it was in the 2000s, but that things were not good.
1991.
91.
It was 91.
When things were going really horribly bad.
Okay, first of all, you got to understand, when I started this company in 86,
okay,
I had left the car business. We had a pay renegotiation, and I didn't go for it. I came home to my wife. I said, I'm going to start my company. She said, what? I said, I'm a trained car salesman. I'm going to train managers. There's no management trainers out there. I'm going to do all of that. And she said, who else is doing this? I said, nobody. I'm creating an industry.
Oh, my Lord.
I promised her that I would go back into the car business in 90 days if I didn't make this profitable.
Wow.
I could get a job anywhere. I was nationally known already.
Yeah. Wow.
But, I'd set records as a manager, not as a salesman.
Right.
I was a record-setting manager. I was nationally known. NAD, a lot of people had gotten wind of who I was, and, I could write my own ticket.
Yeah.
We got a contract with Ford Motor Company to consult the Minority Auto Dealers program, and I was on all the training videos, and I was the F&I school for Ford.
Oh my God!
I had three contracts with Ford that were pretty lucrative, so we made $1 million our first year.
Holy moly!
I mean, just right out of the chute. So we're trucking along. I get 40 employees. I've got people on the road, and all of a sudden, the Gulf War happened. The first Gulf War.
Yep.
When Saddam Hussein attacked Kuwait.
Right.
The economy, I don't know if you recall, that economy crashed and ground to a halt during the Gulf. I had 40 employees out there with my American Express card in their pocket. And the next thing I know, I owe $100,000 to IRS. I owed money, probably about the same amount to American Express. I mean, we had $5,000 total future business on the books.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm laying these people off, and they're all still friends of mine today. I mean, nobody was at fault, but I had to lay off everybody.
Yeah. Wow.
And one old guy stayed with me, a good friend of mine. He passed away. Al Adderholt, I'll say his name. Al Adderholt stayed with me.
Wow.
And I said, Al, I can't pay you. We had made a lot of money, but we had spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, and I said, Al, I can't pay you. He said, doesn't matter. I'll stay with you as long as it takes. So Al started feeding me this was January. And I called the IRS. And I expected to be locked up in the dungeon in the bottom of the federal building. You know, I don't know.
Right.
People that owe them that much money.
Yeah, right.
And it wasn't just that I owed them that much money. My accountant had taken it out of the employees' paychecks and not remitted it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just called the IRS and laid on the sword. Said, "This is what we've done. How can I get out of it?"
He said, "I laid on the sword."
Yeah. They put me on a payment plan.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't so bad. They put me on a payment plan, and American Express also put me on a payment plan.
Wow.
And yeah, so I don't know, $500,000 total, 300, 400, I don't know, a lot of debt.
Yeah.
My wife's accountant, she'd tell you to the penny. But we owe a lot of money.
Right.
I was waking up with heart palpitations in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And Al Adderholt stayed with me. And I'll never forget, Al Adderholt was going in the computer and the database, feeding me the phone numbers, and you didn't have automatic dialing. I was handheld telephone. I'm calling the people up.
Yep.
And I raised like $50,000 or $60,000 short-term money, and we paid off all of that debt in 14 months and maintained good credit.
Wow.
My credit score now is like 832, and my wife's credit score is 892.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy.
I mean, she's got better credit than I do.
That's insane.
I mean, we came out of that with perfect credit. We didn't ruin our credit. We didn't go bankrupt. We didn't lay down on it. There's nothing on earth you can't sell your way out of.
That's it right there. That's it. That's what you said. There's nothing on earth you can't sell your way out of.
Al Adderholt and I making hey, let me tell you what. I was making hundreds of phone calls. 8 o'clock in the morning, I was calling dealers on the East Coast. 9 o'clock at night, I'm talking to dealers in Hawaii.
Wow.
We're calling right across the time zones.
That's insane. Wow. And you're selling them.
Oh, closing. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
I still make 100 phone calls a day when I'm in the office.
That's unbelievable.
And that's conversations. I don't leave messages. I mean, I'm talking to people. Now, most of those conversations are 2 minutes.
Wow. So you're a legend. And so I'm sure that if you call down here to Byers Ford here in Delaware, Ohio, you can probably get the GM or the owner on the phone because you just have the name, right? But if they say Jim Ziegler's on the phone, that I can get more people on the phone than anybody, even if they don't like me. What does that son of a bitch want? Right. That's what I mean. But if they say Ken Walls is on the phone, he's going to be like, who the hell's that? Like, and I even bought a car from him. He'd still say, "Who the hell's that?" So
I got a great trick to get past the gatekeeper.
Yeah, let's hear this.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can I tell him who's calling? Yes, ma'am. I have his test results back from the free clinic. They never ask again. They put you right through.
Oh my God. That is funny. Holy crap. I'm going to try that. But I mean,
be sure they have a sense of humor before you do.
That's true. That's true. And you have one for sure. I can tell. But what do you say to the person that, because man, I know, like you've been through the crap. I remember back then, man, in 08, 09, like the economy took a tank and
we did it again.
Our business, because I'm in the internet business, like similar to you. I don't do car dealerships, but like I'm in, and we like went, oh God, things are going bad. And then I saw a quick turn because people started going, well, wait a minute, because we're a marketing firm, so businesses are going, well, we got to invest in marketing or we're dead. So, we saw a pretty quick turn, but what about the people out there that are stuck right now and they just don't, what would you tell anybody that can't pay their bills, can't buy food, can't pay what would you say to that guy that's stuck?
Well, people are stuck as a result of choices they have made.
Right.
I mean, very few people are victims. And sometimes you have to suck it up, Buttercup, and just accept what's happening. I have been on the bottom a number of times,
right? And
you always have to say that there's got to be a plan. You got to work the plan. You got to have faith. You got to come back strong.
Yep.
You've got to. Napoleon Hill, the godfather of motivation.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything a man can conceive and believe he can achieve. I'm sure he meant a person, but he wasn't quite socially correct.
Yeah, right.
Anything a man can conceive and believe he can achieve. I mean, if you can think it and believe that it's possible, it's possible. Do it.
Yeah.
I have always thought that success is a choice.
Amen to
Success is a choice. I mean, it's something you decide to do.
Wow.
Because when I was driving that old beat up car from Jacksonville to Atlanta, I made two decisions. Decision number one, I will be a success.
Yeah.
I mean, I decided that night, and I'm not saying the people out there in your audience are not success. I'm talking to you. I'm not saying you're not successful. But you're certainly not as successful as you could be, should be, deserve to be, or capable of being. Everybody watching this broadcast is operating at a level below your ability, below your capacity. And you better be really thankful for that. Because if you're operating at your best right now, if you're doing the best job you can possibly do, you're getting all you're ever going to get. You've got to believe you can stretch higher, reach farther, get more, do more, be more, have more.
Wow.
Than you now do.
Wow, man.
Belief system.
I love that. That's so true. That's so true.
As soon as you start to believe you're doing the best job you can do, and I see these arrogant people, I'm doing the best job you can do. I get hired by a dealer, and I'm not the highest paid consultant. I get $10,000 a day plus travel. I fly first class. I don't fly in the back of no planes. I don't even know what goes on in the back of a plane. I looked back there one time and looked like a prison car. People sitting 6 across groveling for peanuts. I mean, it's awful. I ain't going to do that.
That is funnier than hell.
I don't fly in the back of no plane.
Oh, my God, that's funny.
I put that in my ads. I've had meeting planners say, okay, I know you don't fly in the back of no plane.
That is.
I used to piss off my competitors. I'd run ads when print ads were big in the publications. I'd run ads in automotive news. If you're thinking about using such and such, it's time to upgrade to first class and hire Ziegler.
Oh my God! Oh my God, that is funnier than hell. So you okay? Wow, I think I just totally lost my train of thought. All I can picture is all the prisoners in the back of the plane. Wow, that's funny, man. So you okay? But that brings me to a point, and I think that you'll agree. Now, but I do want to back up a little bit and say, you're driving up the road and you're going from Jacksonville to Atlanta. You're in a 1972 or
73. 73. Lime green, Lincoln Town, Continental.
My first car was a 1974 Ford LTD. It wasn't 22 feet long, but it was dang close. Had that big block 400 in it. But so you're driving in this buy here, pay here car,
mm-hmm.
tote note car. Yeah, and you're heading to Atlanta, fresh out of a divorce, or just got divorced. You're depressed. You got $400 that your mom gave you, and do you have a good? I mean, it's hard to have a good attitude, I reckon, if you're depressed. So
I made a good attitude during that drive.
Did you?
That drive was like 9 hours,
yeah.
And I hit the Atlanta traffic rush at 7:00 in the morning.
Oh God!
And I'm on I-285. I can't see the mirrors because I got all my crap in the car with me. Only mirror that I can use is the driver's side mirror.
Oh
and
my
if
God.
you've ever seen Atlanta traffic, it's 7:00 in the morning, 8 lanes across, going 80 miles an hour, weaving in and out of each other.
Yep. It's
and
nuts.
I'm just a redneck kid from Jacksonville.
Wow. Wow.
Driving in that traffic rush.
So you developed a good attitude along the way. So my thing is it does success. It truly does come down to the way that you're viewing the world, doesn't it? Like it's about
I made a
attitude.
second decision that night.
Okay.
There were 2 decisions.
Yep.
Decision number 1, I will be the ultimate success I'm capable of being.
Yep.
Decision number 2, I will study my profession as surely as if I'm studying for a master's degree in any other profession. If I'm going to be a car salesman, I'm going to be a car manager. I'm going to be the best car manager. I'm going to seek out role models, mentors, the best people that teach me the best things. I'm going to attend all the classes, and I'm going to get rid of the losers, the whiners, the wimps, the criminals, the has-beens out of my life.
Wow.
Get rid of bad people, even if you're related to them.
Yep. I agree with that. Best decision I ever made right there.
I see these dealers that hire some of them, and a lot of them have really smart children that come up into business and are great. But other dealers have kids that I call the Lucky Sperm Club. They won a race with 5 million other sperm cells once and ain't done shit since. Oh
God! But that's the case in a lot of businesses, right?
Yeah,
that's
the Peter principle.
Yeah.
Get rid of bad people, even if you're related to them. I'm sorry. When I became a manager, and here's my wife came from a pretty affluent family.
Mm-hmm.
And, my family wasn't as such. My dad was an enlisted man in the U.S. Navy for 3 kids. We weren't poor, but we certainly weren't wealthy.
Right.
And my wife introduced me to a whole new world.
Sure.
And when it came time to get married, she said, my parents are going to have a problem with me marrying a car salesman.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what if I was a manager? She said, that'd be better. So I went to the dealer and said, look, I got to be a manager.
Oh my God.
The 3rd month in the management role, I set the world record. I mean, it just got to be, I became nationally known. I got in with some of the biggest dealerships in the country, and
oh my God,
it was really, I was good at it, but studied my profession.
Yeah. My
business card says James A. Ziegler, CSP. Now, you know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Certified Speaking Professional.
Yeah.
Then it has a comma, and it says HSG. James A. Ziegler, CSP, HSG.
What's the HSG?
High school graduate. You put PhD shit on yours, I'll put HSG on mine.
Oh my God, I love that,
It's
man.
on my business cards.
Oh my God, that is incredible. Wow. So, wow, that, man, see, that's what it takes, though, is doing stuff that separates you. So let me back up for, like, way back for a minute. Where were you born and raised? Were you born and raised in Jacksonville?
Well, I was raised in Jacksonville. I was born in Abington, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't remember Abington. My dad was in the Navy. We moved, you know.
Yeah.
I lived in Meridian, Mississippi for 3 years, but once again, the Navy.
Yep.
I was John McCain's babysitter when he was a student pilot.
Are you serious?
Yeah, John McCain was a student pilot at NAAS Meridian, and my dad was the leading chief of his training squadron, VT-9.
Oh, my
and
God.
He had 2 children he had adopted by his first wife, Dougie and Andy, and I babysat Dougie and Andy for John McCain.
Are you kidding me? Wow. That's incredible. That's
I
incredible.
got to write a book sometime about just some. I've done so much. I've done most people's bucket list.
That's insane, man. So you ended up in Jacksonville, though, right?
Right. We went back to Jacksonville after Meridian.
Okay. Which is where I think my brother, he was in the Navy. I think his battle, he was on a carrier. I think his carrier group was based out of Jacksonville, I believe.
Well, my dad was a Airedale Navy, you know, the aviation Navy mechanic. Yeah. He was on 17 cruises.
Oh my gosh.
He was gone a lot.
Yeah.
And my mom taught us the entrepreneurial thing. You talk about entrepreneurial, being raised as an entrepreneur. We were.
Were you really?
My sister's one of the top real estate agents in the entire state of North Carolina.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I mean, we grew up with a mom that I was a sales manager when I was 8.
For what?
Yeah.
Doing what?
My mom's driving down Cassett Avenue in Jacksonville. That's like 1956. I'm like 6 years old. And she hears me yelling, "Hey, Mom!" And she looks up, and I'm 50 feet up in a tree, cutting mistletoe and throwing it down to the big boys. I'm like 6 years old, cutting mistletoe on a tree branch.
Yeah.
So she said, "We're not." So we stood outside the grocery stores and the Rexall, and we sold the mistletoe at Christmas time to ladies coming out of the store.
Wow.
10 cents a handful.
Yep.
So the next year, my dad said, "You're not doing that this year." We go out in the forest, and he cuts down a whole limb with 200 pounds of mistletoe.
Oh, wow.
We drug it out of the forest. We put it in a bucket with fertilized water, and my mom gets bows and rubber bands and makes real nice sprigs out of it.
Yeah.
And then I got my friends. Lonnie, you got Rexall. Bobby, you got Winn-Dixie. We're going to sell for 25 cents a sprig. You get 10 cents. I get 10 cents. My mom gets a nickel.
Oh, my God.
So I'm a sales manager.
Wow. You were, man.
Yeah, 8 years old, and I had all the kids in the neighborhood working for me. And now, honest to God, Ken, 2 months a year, I made more money than my dad, who was 25 years in the military.
Oh, my God.
When I was 8 years old.
So you learned early on. You learned early on, sell. You got to learn how to sell and manage.
Yeah, I mean, I have been continuously employed since I was 14.
Wow. Holy
moly. I've had 2 jobs at once sometimes. I was a DJ.
Wow.
The longest I had a job was WAPE radio in Jacksonville, the legendary Big Ape.
Wow.
So I was the promotions director.
Jeez.
When we had the Great Rambling Raft Race and all the promotions the radio station did, I put those together.
Wow.
Plus I did an air shift. I was Dr. X, a big time radio celebrity.
No kidding. Holy moly, man.
Jay Thomas worked with me.
Jeez.
Jay Thomas, the hockey player on Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did all the comedy voices on his show. I was all the character voices that on his show. And we're talking late 60s, early 70s.
Holy crap, man. You have done a lot of unbelievable things. What?
I used to do Nixon.
Used to do Nixon? Yeah. Let's see you do Nixon.
Well, there was a guy named Chris Clendon. Him and I both did Nixon at different times. Now my Nixon, Jay, this is Dick. Jay, I'm very upset.
That's pretty good, Nixon.
Jay, I heard you're having a great rambling raft race. That's right, Mr. President. We're going to have sun, fun, water, even some gators. Water, gators. Oh, Jay, I had nothing to do with it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. See, that's what like you've got the sense of humor, man. You've got that's what it takes. That's what it takes. It's like you and learning your craft, man. That's it. You've done it. You've done it. So
let me know I could speak.
What's that?
My wife had no idea I could speak. When I told her we're going to do the first thing we did was this F&I seminar, finance and insurance.
Yeah. We
had 17 attendees.
Okay.
And my wife was scared to death of this new company. 17 people, $500 a student. Only problem was only 2 of them paid.
Oh, God.
The other 15 were friends of mine for photo ops.
Oh, jeez.
To make the 2 that paid think it was a good seminar.
Oh my God. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
That's how we started the company.
Wow, yeah. Wow. That's insane. And how many how many, like, I know you're doing a big thing up in Detroit here, in July, is that right?
So, in August. Internet Battle Plan.
Right. So
what we do is my wife and I produce conferences.
Okay.
We'll have about 200 attendees, 20 sponsors, 20 speakers.
Wow.
And none of the speakers are paid. They pay to speak.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So 20 speakers. Matter of fact, Frank Lopes is going to be one of them.
Wow.
And he's going to help me moderate. And
Frank is awesome.
It's a pretty big event. It's going to make a high 6 digits.
Wow. That's
and
incredible.
We do 2 of those a year. We did one in Clearwater here in February, and we're going to Detroit in August. It's a Greektown casino.
Yeah.
Website is internetbattleplan.com.
Internet, and I'll be promoting some of that throughout today, actually, too, for you. But let me ask you this though: what made you get into the car? Like I told you, somebody told me the other day. I keep saying I'm not in the car business. I've never sold a car in my life, and yet I'm connected to everybody in the car business. But what made you why not? My first sales job was for a telecom company. Why didn't you go that route? What made you go into the car business?
Well, what happened was Jay Thomas went and became an actor.
Okay.
He got a part on the Mork and Mindy show, which was the #1 show on TV at the time.
Yep, Robin Williams.
And I could tell you about riding around in a motorhome with Robin Williams. If you want to hear that story. But
wow.
So Jay brought Robin Williams back to Jacksonville when Mork and Mindy was #1 show on TV.
Wow.
So when Jay went on to Mork and Mindy, it's sort of like the gang broke up.
Okay.
And I had a Honda dealer that just absolutely thought I was spectacular. He wanted me to sell cars, and he finally talked me into selling cars for one of his dealerships, Superior Datsun.
Wow. Datsun.
I started out selling Datsuns.
Wow.
The 3rd month in the business, I made $4,500. I set the record for the store. And we're talking 1976, Ken.
That's a lot of money in 1976.
I had never made that much money as a radio executive.
Right.
I mean, I had a real so-called respectable position.
Yeah.
I was general sales manager of a radio station.
Wow.
WEXI, small station, but I was, and I'd been with WAPE, and then all of a sudden, I made $4,500.
Wow.
I was just going to do this till I could get a good job. Then I said, wait a minute, this is the good job.
Wow.
$4,500 in 1976.
That's got to be
$25,000 today.
At least, yeah. I was going to say, holy crap, man. Wow. So okay, so that, and I've heard this story before. I got into car sales and I exploded and made all this money and it was like crack. I was hooked.
Oh yeah.
So
I never smoked crack, people. That's his. No. I never did cocaine either. Marijuana.
You didn't.
I was a disc jockey at a rock and roll station.
You didn't inhale, right?
They've got countries in Central America that have statues of me in the park.
Oh my God. So you got into the car business, but and obviously it's done you well. How you created an entire industry out of it, training and everything that you do. But again, this show is about helping people get unstuck. And I like to hear the perspective from somebody, especially you. What do you see? Because I know, like, you're on Facebook, you're very active in social media, and I know that you see people making mistakes. I know you watch and you probably hold your tongue and don't say anything. But like, what is the biggest thing in your opinion you think that people do that holds them back from success?
They start closing before they have a relationship. When I make 100 calls a day, I'm not selling anything.
Yep.
Now, what I do is I call people up, and I tell car salesmen this all the time, and real estate people, don't always have an agenda.
Yep.
And here's one of my best on the phone lines. You're going to like this. This is, hi, hey, Ken, Jim Ziegler, listen, I don't have an agenda for this call. I'm not going to try to sell you anything today. I just want to see how you're doing. Did your wife get that promotion? I get it. I don't have an agenda for this call. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I just want to see how you're doing. And nobody does that.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many times people in the middle of that conversation, well, Jim, when's your next seminar?
Wow. Yep.
And I do a lot of business by referral.
Yeah.
The best way to get referrals is to give referrals.
Amen to that.
I tell people, my God, look, did you ever sell a plumber a car? Did you ever sell an electrician a car? Did you ever sell somebody that owns a florist shop? Did you refer anybody to them?
Right.
I'm a prospecting fool. I can walk out of any dealership in the country, 8 o'clock in the morning, provided it's not raining or bad weather, it's not a Sunday, it's not a holiday. I'll sell a car to a stranger before the sun sets.
Yep.
I can sell a car anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's all relationship based.
Right.
If I had social media when I was actively in the industry, what could I have done?
Oh
I was operating with a flat file Rolodex and a 10-key calculator. That was my CRM.
Right? I know. I get that, man.
Yeah.
I was asking somebody.
150,000 people on social media.
Yeah.
150,000.
That's crazy, man.
That's LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
A little bit of Google Plus is still around. But I tell you, social media, the important thing is to have relevant people.
Right. Yep.
I love people from India. I love people from China, but they can't help me. You put all these people that have no relation to your business in your Facebook, YouTube. I've got 150,000 relevant people.
That's awesome.
If I put a post on Facebook, I'm going to get 100 responses.
Yeah.
Because they're active. They're you've seen it.
I've seen it. I've participated. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a little controversial.
Yeah.
It's fun to be controversial. I'll start some political crap, and then I'll just get out of the way and not comment again, watch them fight it out.
Well, and I've heard that you've taken on, some, and not necessarily political, but that you've taken on some big,
Yes, I have.
challenges, I guess.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, I did something a couple years ago, and I brought a major corporation to their knees. I'm not going to say who or what because we're friends now. Matter of fact, they sponsor my events, and they've changed their entire format.
Wow.
But the Federal Trade Commission came after me.
Wow.
Yeah, they said I organized a national boycott, and I almost got prosecuted. It was about $50,000 in legal fees getting out of that.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
wow.
So yeah, I do not do boycotts.
I didn't know that it's illegal. I didn't know there's a law against boycotting.
Yeah, well, evidently there is.
Wow.
I got a great attorney, Lenny Belavy, up in New York.
Yeah. Wow. So
I don't mess with the Federal Trade Commission anymore.
Right. So
I've got some followers on YouTube and some followers on Facebook and LinkedIn. And you ever get like a pit bull? You say sick 'em.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I got some followers that'll go at it.
Yeah.
In my behalf.
Well, that's because you've brought so much value for so long. So let me ask you this though. Where did Alpha Dog come from? How'd that all start?
There was an old car salesman named Irving Silver.
Okay.
And Irving was one of my best friends. He died about 5 years ago. He was 96, I believe.
Wow.
And he was the top salesman in the world in the car business. People talk about Joe Girard. Irving was a war hero, World War II. Mm-hmm. He was awarded the Silver Cross by General Douglas MacArthur personally.
Wow.
And Irving worked with me at Troncalli Motors. He was just an exceptional salesman. And he gave me a hat that said DaMan, DaMan.
Yeah.
I trademarked that.
Wow.
I trademarked for a couple of years, DaMan.
Yeah.
And my license tag in my car said DaMan.
Wow.
You remember the movie Miracle on 34th Street?
Well, of course, it's one of my favorite movies.
The Natalie Wood version.
Yeah.
Maureen O'Hara.
Yep.
Remember that?
The old one, yeah.
Yeah. How did they prove that he was the actual one and only Santa Claus? Do you remember?
No.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't remember.
They delivered letters to him.
Oh, yes. yes.
John Payne said, the U.S. government recognizes this as the only Kris Kringle Santa Claus.
Yep.
So when I had DaMan trademarked,
yeah,
people say, I'm DaMan. No, you're not DaMan. I'm recognized by the U.S. government. I am the one and only DaMan.
I freaking love that. Holy crap. I love that.
When Irving died, I decided to retire DaMan.
Wow.
And I was living in Atlanta, the Georgia Bulldogs. I became the Alpha Dog. I wanted a logo, and I wanted a logo big enough where people could see it.
Yeah, I love it.
Jump out at you. And it's so ostentatious. Oh, golly, it's funny. You ever see the movie Hooper with Burt Reynolds?
I don't know. I remember it. But
he was playing the same character as Smokey and the Bandit, only he was Hooper.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And Terry Bradshaw was in that movie.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
And he got in a bar fight, and Terry Bradshaw said, "What do you do?" And Burt Reynolds said, "I show off." I relate to that.
So
I'm glad dinosaurs are extinct because I'd probably get drunk and try to ride one.
Oh, jeez. So you're the Alpha Dog. How long's Alpha Dog been around now? Long time now.
Died about 5 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, was it 5?
maybe a little longer.
Okay.
I don't do well with time.
So, yeah, I'm with you.
I'll say something happened the other day, and my wife will say, Jim, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't the other day? No.
I'm the same exact way.
Time doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well, I always say I used to drink a lot. I don't drink anymore, but I used to. I think that's why I think everything. Like, no, that
I don't drink anymore. I drink any less, but.
Right. So what's coming next? What's next for you? Because you've done a lot, man. I mean, you're doing how many of these? You do like 3 or 4 of these.
I'm actually slowing it down now. I'm going to be in Pennsylvania this week. I'm going to be at, one of the Kia stores. I'm trying to remember my friend Jake Leibowitz.
Okay. Pittsburgh?
Allentown Kia. I'm going to be in Allentown Kia this week. I'm flying out Thursday. I'm going to do a meeting for him. Back in 2006, 7, 2005, I was billing $90,000 a month just on my own time, not counting my employees' time.
Wow.
Plus the seminar revenues.
Yeah.
We were doing like $5 million annually with just a couple employees.
Wow.
And that was $10,000 a day in the dealerships, and I can still do that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I mean, I have a theory called enough money. I don't have Grant Cardone money.
Right.
You got a jet.
Yeah, you need a jet, man. You need a jet.
I don't have Grant Cardone money, but I'm not hustling that hard.
Right.
I'm not coasting, but I've slowed it down.
Yeah.
And so many good things are happening.
Yeah. Well, man, you're one heck of a guy, and I from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you being on here today. So, I know that all the car people that follow me already know you. There's Eric Brower's on here. He loves you. So
let me see who all's on here with us. Oh my God,
we got a bunch of people that have been in and out, but I have comments up over here, but. What would for anybody struggling, and I've been there many times as an entrepreneur. I called a buddy of mine, has $100 million a year company. His dad does. I called the dad one day and I said, I had one employee, paid him $500 a week. He was a graphic designer that worked for me. And it was my first employee, and I couldn't pay the guy. I couldn't pay him. And I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? I can't pay this guy. So I call up my buddy's dad, who's got a $100 million a year company, and I said, I said, I don't want a loan. I don't want money from you. I just want to know, is it worth it? What's the secret here? I'm stressing the hell out. Payroll's tomorrow, and I can't pay this dude, and it's only $500. What the hell? And he said, man, there's no secret. He goes, if there's a secret, here it is. You stay in the ring, you keep running, you keep fighting, and you don't let the effing tiger catch you.
That's the truth.
That's what he said.
I was living with a roommate for a while named Louis Monera, and I was splitting the rent. We were living in a pretty upscale apartment.
Yeah.
We actually had a butler live in with us on the 3-bedroom place.
Had a what?
A butler.
Oh, God.
We had a butler. We're 2 single guys. We had a butler.
Oh, jeez.
And he worked for minimum wage and room and board. It's so cool. You have a date, the butler comes out and serves you. So one day, Louis says, where you going, Jim? I said, well, I got to go get the rent. He said, yeah, it's due tomorrow. I said, yeah, and I don't have it. I got to go get it. He said, well, where are you going to go get it? I said, I haven't figured that out yet. But I've only got a quarter of a tank into Cordoba. I was driving a Chrysler Cordoba. I've only got a quarter of a tank into Cordoba. And
oh my God.
If I don't get the money, I won't be back.
Oh, jeez.
So I went over to a Holiday Inn in Orange Park, and I was sitting in the bar trying to figure out where I'm going to get the money.
Wow.
So I asked the bartender, I said, is the owner here, Mr. Posen? She said she brought him out.
Yeah.
I said, Mr. Posen, your waitresses could really be more productive. He said, what do you mean? I said, they need some training. He said, well, what kind of training? I said, I have a course.
And you didn't. Oh my God. Oh my dear God. Are you kidding me?
I came back with the money.
Oh my God.
I was billing myself as a hypnotist because I do hypnosis shows.
Yeah.
So I got Golf Life hired me to do a speech on living with stress and winning. I've got it in my scrapbook.
Oh my gosh.
And they paid me $7,000. 1970. Well, this is when I was a disc jockey.
Wow.
Like 1973. $7,000. I've got the whole photo spread. They flew executives in from all over the country.
Oh my gosh.
So I told my roommate Monero, I said, he said, well, what are you going to talk about? I said, well, I'm going to go to the bookstore and get a bunch of paperbacks on stress and put a speech together.
Oh my God. Are you shitting me?
I've got photographs of that speech right out of their national magazine.
Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. That's amazing.
Elmer, I was like one of these TV ministers, you know. I was such a fraud.
But that's the thing is I wrote a book and it became a bestseller and in my book I said, look, I know I'm gonna regurgitate things I've heard throughout my journey and one of my favorite quotes is, there is no such thing as an original thought. All wisdom is plagiarized. Only stupidity is original. I
love that.
You know,
that.
I wrote that in my book, and I said, "Look, I don't know. If I heard it from Jim Ziegler, I'm going to say I heard this from Jim Ziegler. If I heard it from Grant Cardone, I'm going to say I heard this from Grant Cardone or Jeffrey Gitthem or whoever. But I can't remember every damn person that said something I might spit out. I can't. But if I
love Gitthem. I love Gittimer. I understand you know him fairly well.
I know Gittimer real well, yeah. I love Jeffrey. He's a good dude, man.
Last time I saw him, I was on a plane about 2 years ago. Somebody slapped him in the back of the head. Hello, Bubby. He also flies first class.
Yeah. I know he does, man. He's a great guy. Yeah, he's a super guy. Hey, do you know Eric Brower? He's on here, and he has a question for you.
Okay, what's Eric's question?
He says, Jim, what's the number one piece of advice you would give automotive consultants to get new clients?
The number one thing to get new clients.
For an automotive consultant.
Well, first of all, you got to make the calls. You got to make the calls. And I'll tell you what, if I was just starting out, I wouldn't be afraid to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, physically show up. There's something to be said for physical presence.
Yep, I agree.
But you want to get new clients. When I started my company, I went to the recording studio where the Baptist ministers all did their sermons, and I made a 30-minute recording on cassette tape.
Oh my God!
Okay, and I mailed it to every dealer in the state of Georgia.
Holy crap!
And the tape, the label said, I can increase the profits of your dealership by $100,000 a month immediately. But there was no message on who sent it. They didn't know who sent it. They had to listen to the tape to know it was me.
Oh. Wow.
And my first call was from a dealer named Dick Spreen Toyota. And he said, Mr. Ziegler, I got your tape and I want to talk to you. He said, my brother died. My brother was the car man. I'm an accountant. I don't know how to run a dealership. Would you work it out? I said, how much do you charge? And I hadn't really figured out how much I charged yet. So I said, $8,500 a month. He said, I got a problem with that. I said, what? He said, I'll pay you $4,250 on the first and $4,250 on the 15th. I said, okay, now. I said, now I'm going to need an office in the dealership and a dedicated phone line that you answer Ziegler Super System. And I need use of your office equipment.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
I got witnesses. Wow. Spring Toyota gave me an office. use of their office equipment, a dedicated phone line that they answered with Ziegler Super Systems.
Wow.
And he paid me $8,500 a month. He was my first client.
Oh, my God.
This was before I flew up to Ford.
Holy crap, man.
I hope I'm answering Mr. Brower's questions because you got to go get it.
You just got to go get it. That's it. Eric, he said, I love it, Jim. Eric's a good friend of mine. He's the CEO of Global Dealer Solutions, and he's like, and he used to be a GM as well. So, you know.
Well, you know, the thing is, I'm not in competition with these people.
Right.
I mean, Grant Cardone, people have tried to pit me and Grant Cardone against each other for years. I love Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
I mean, I celebrate his success.
Yes.
And I'm going to say something to you that I have no envy.
Right.
I don't want anything you have.
Right.
Now, I might want something like what you have,
right,
but I don't want yours.
Right.
I hope that makes sense to you.
It makes sense to me, and I love that, man.
Well, you and I were talking before this broadcast about how many people I pulled up and helped in the business.
Yeah, yeah.
I help a lot of people. I'll help Mr. Brower. I'll help anybody. I have no envy. You know, I'm in the legacy years right now. I'm 71 years old. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm still working, putting on big conferences, teaching internet to young people. That's such a kick. You know?
I love it.
I'm teaching entrepreneurial things. I'm making $35,000 a month today on my Facebook pages.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, I make $35,000 a month just on people relationships.
That's incredible, man.
I have a saying in my book, and my book's way out of print. I wrote it 20 years ago, but the most powerful people on earth are those people that influence the most other people.
Yeah.
Money is measurement. Influence is power.
Yeah. Wow.
And influence. So gather people. How many people were in your high school class?
Mine, 84, I think.
How many people do you know and associate with today?
One.
Okay, so in other words, those people drifted into the past and evaporated.
Yeah, most
You
of
knew
them.
all 80 of those people at one time.
Yeah.
So you lost the value of those relationships.
Yep.
Part of my theory is gather people and never let them go.
Yeah, I love that, man.
I do 100 pokes a week on Facebook, poking people.
Do you really?
Yeah. And people say that's childish. No, it's not, because it puts a little orange star on their, and they answer. It gives them a little orange star at the top of their Facebook, and they get back in my feed. Facebook doesn't throw them out of my feed.
Oh my God! So those people that keep poking me, they've been to a Ziegler conference.
I teach poke. Yeah, poking is Poking 101. We have a class on that.
I'm like, dude, quit poking me, man. What the hell?
I do 60, 70, 80 birthdays every day.
Yep.
People say, well, why are you up at 4 o'clock? Well, I'm up at 4 o'clock doing birthdays.
Yep. I do that too, man. I do that too. I think it's important. People need to know that you're there.
And it's all personalized stuff too.
Yeah. I love that, man. That's the thing is I think, and you're right. And I like, there's too many people that go straight to the close. They go straight into selling mode. They don't do anything to invest in a relationship. You get that. You accept a new friend on Facebook. Instantly, they're trying to get you in their Bitcoin thing or whatever. And it's like, what the hell? You didn't wine me and dine me. What are you doing?
Oh, well, you got to kiss me first.
Let's start with first base, and work our way around the bases here. What the hell are you doing? I love that, though, man. You're right.
Yeah, I genuinely care about people.
Right.
My little byline on my email says, do something good for somebody that can do nothing for you and try not to get caught doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow. That's awesome, man. I'm gonna fly to Florida and take you out to dinner, you and your wife.
Oh, well, I'll lay you away. I'm not a cheap date.
Huh? I don't
Not
care.
a cheap date.
Hey, man, the value, and that's something, somebody told me a long time ago. Maybe it was Brian Tracy I heard this from, or somebody, but maybe it was Zig Ziglar. I don't remember. But like, hey, you want to be successful? Go buy a millionaire his lunch or dinner. Take a millionaire out to lunch or dinner, and I've done that so many times, and that's it's served me well. So
it is. I knew Zig Ziglar fairly well. I mean, we weren't. He used to say I misspelled my name. He said, I got a joke. He said to me one time, he said, I got a joke to knock your hair out. He said, oh, you've heard it.
Jeez. That is funny.
Zig Ziglar almost sued me one time.
Why?
Well, when I started in the seminar business in 1970 something or other, I decided to do a seminar in Tallahassee, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm living in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I was doing radio. And I go on up to Tallahassee, and I spent $7,500 on Tallahassee radio. I was on every 5 minutes on 3 stations.
Wow.
I had the black contemporary station, I had the country station, I had the rock station. I had every 5 minutes. Tonight at the Capitol Inn, James A. Ziegler, free seminar.
Wow.
And Zig's brother, whose name, believe it or not, was Judge, Judge Ziegler shows up with an attorney. They thought I was impersonating Zig.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me?
No, I had to show my driver's license, explain, my name is Ziegler. I didn't know who Zig Ziglar was at that time. And Zig and I talked about that in later years, how he almost sued me because he was in Texas, and he got a call from his brother in Mississippi. There's a guy impersonating you in Tallahassee. Well, get my attorney over there.
Oh, my God. Zig, that's what I said.
You know his name?
Who, Zig?
Yeah.
Do I know his name?
Yeah.
Zig. No?
Horace.
Huh?
Horace.
Horace?
Yeah.
How do you spell H-A?
Zig is a nickname.
Come on. Is it really?
Well, I was told that by somebody that was a pretty reliable source. It might be wrong, but I believe his name is Horace.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
All I know is this.
That might be totally wrong, but the person that told it to me was on the inside and had no reason to make it up.
Wouldn't surprise me. You learn a lot about people along the way, and I got to tell you something. I'm very, very grateful for you. I mean that, man. I don't think I've laughed this hard on any interview I've done. My face hurts. So anything else you'd like to share with the audience before we end this?
We've all had our bottoms where we hit the bottom and bounce back, and my wife and I have done it twice in our business life.
Wow. 1991
and 2008. 2008, in October 15th, my wife and I were in London. We were buying the E-Academy franchise for the United States. I wrote a $10,000 check and had another $10,000 I owed. And that was the day the U.S. economy crashed.
Oh, wow.
I'm in London, October 15th. I had all my employees. I had 6,000 square feet of offices, upscale doctor, lawyer, professional quality, Class A building, half a floor. I had a classroom that would seat 100 people in the office. Wow. And I laid off all my employees, and I called the landlord, and I said, look, I got to break my lease. He said, no, you can't do it. I said, I can't continue to pay you. I'm putting, my wife and I put close to $1 million back into the company.
Wow.
From our personal money. I wasn't broke by any means.
Right.
But we were bleeding money out of every artery.
Yeah, right.
And 2008. So the landlord said, I said, well, listen, I'll pay you 2 months rent and leave, or I'll leave.
Yeah, right.
I said, which plan better suits you?
Right.
And he said, you're not going to do that. I called the city rescue mission. And I told the minister, I said, would you like about $60,000 or $70,000 of tables, appliances, computers, office supplies? Yeah. Well, here's the catch. You got to get them out of my office in one day on a Sunday.
Wow.
So he comes up with like a Mayflower moving van, a whole bunch of street derelicts. I said, you can't leave a paperclip on the floor. They cleaned out my 6,000 square foot office. They took all the furniture, all the appliances, all the computers. And when the landlord comes in Monday, it was a major landlord company.
Yeah.
He comes in Monday and gives me a call. He said, you did it, didn't you?
Yeah.
He said, does that offer for 2 months rent still go? I said, yeah.
Oh my God. See, that's the thing is you just got to bob and weave, man. You got to bob and weave.
Yes, you do.
You got to adjust.
My trophy wife just walked in here.
I've seen her. She's amazing.
I love my wife. Hello, wife.
Hello.
Well, tell her thank you for
she is so good. 35 years we've been married. 34 years. 34 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Like I said earlier, she was all over me like a dog on a pork chop.
Yeah. Yeah, you said she'd get mad at you for saying that. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on here, and for anybody that wants to follow you, where's the best place to follow you?
I come up 4 million times in Google to choose your poison. LinkedIn's good. I'm James A. Ziegler on Facebook, but I'm only accepting people in the car business.
Okay.
I have an open format on Facebook. You're welcome to follow me, and you have all the privileges of somebody that I've friended.
Okay.
James A. Ziegler, Z-I-E-G, I before E, James A. Ziegler.
Yeah.
Find me on Facebook. Find me on LinkedIn. I've got a huge network on LinkedIn.
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm a Twitter quitter, but I've got a pretty sizable network on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't go there very often.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just go out and grab all your links and I'll share them out with this video. I'll edit this post and share them so everybody can get a hold of you, man. So you're awesome. You're incredible. Everything I saw before has been reiterated for me, man. You're incredible, and I'm so grateful. I appreciate you taking your time.
Next time I get on, we'll talk about the time I was in the Battle of the Toughest.
The Battle of the what?
The Battle of the Toughest. I got knocked out in 45 seconds. That's another story for another time.
Jim, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you to everybody who's been on here, shared this, liked it, loved it, laughs. I mean, there's a lot of crying faces on this, man. So thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Jim, don't hang up. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day.